Question in New York really quick before we, sorry, we'll give you a mic so they, or.
So talking about the innovation about taking seven right calls in a stovepipe organization in military, any words of advice on, because if you're at the team level, you've still got to go up to enterprise, and sometimes that's taken out of your hand.
So it's a great question, because, you know, when you think about an organization who has done incredibly well, by the way, you know, the military, the US military, if you look in history, is the group in the 1950s changed how all companies globally run. KPIs, I mean, every aspect, because people said how these guys mobilize huge bodies of people and have metrics and ways, I mean, under high stress. And so the military got studied and became the change agent for the rest of the world. Most companies literally took most of their management and leadership practices from the military. So in this decade of work we've done, what was a pro bono effort for over 10 years, we had such a demand for the knowledge and the technology tools we're building. It was only meant for internal. We went through a whole process. We called it Project FU, because there's no greater FU than success. To say, let us help one organization that's over 100,000 people large transform to move from this to this, along with the programs, with the tools and the techniques and the guidance. And we had over 1,000 different organizations asking for help. So we went through a process over a year, interviewing 100 of the top that were asking for help to pick one, and we picked the Navy, actually, to start with. And so when you look at the size and the change, right, it's very big, so it feels daunting. But here's what we also found in every organization at the top. The leadership knows it's not working. And they're being thrown research papers, they're being thrown consultants in their face, they're being pressured at home by their children saying, you gotta change this. They're being pressured by everyone imaginable, right? Including all the literature being read that, oh my God, this tiny startup figured out how to do this, and this tech did this. They're bombarded, and they know there's a cost to trying something. You know, the idea that nothing ventured, nothing gained, try it, comes from someone who's never tried anything. There is always a cost to trying something, because it increases the cost of your second attempt and then your third attempt. If you take a team and you come out, I have a great idea. I went to the Leadership Academy, amazing things, let's do this. Well, when it doesn't work, the next time you come back from an event, a workshop, a conference, I have another great idea, let's try this. You'll see their enthusiasm, willingness to do what you want is lower, and then it gets lower and lower and lower. So just keep this in mind. But I'm sharing all this because you have to recognize the general mindset of the leadership at the very top is looking for proof from within. They want to see traction and proof with their own organization, not an outside study. A TP is a team of 2. It's the smallest team. Then you move into larger teams. You can have 2 sets of TPs, which is a team of 4. Proof. Trending proof is what every leader is looking for, even at the size of 680,000 people in the Air Force. We spent a lot of time with the Vice Chief of the Air Force. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for what he calls that movement from within. All movement starts with a small team. And so that's what they're looking for. And we know this because we spent a lot of time with them. So before we go, I'm just going to leave you at one line. We're going to see you for a long time. We're going to stay after dinner, so hopefully you'll stay and whatnot. I'm just going to leave you at one last thing as you're about to see coaching. When you think of coaching, the most traditional form of coaching is one-on-one. And this is what everyone is familiar with. Executive coaching, in fact, is what is oftentimes called. Why is it called executive coaching? Well, it was only reserved for this group up here, this top 2% or less. It's too expensive. There's not enough great coaches out there. And so you got one-on-one, it happened behind closed doors, all in the privacy. It was like a therapist, right? Watch the show Billions, right? There's a performance coach in there. That's how it worked. It was never to go beyond these 4 walls. But what you're going to see is how we took that coaching, because we tried all these things and worked with a lot of different organizations and found there are actually 3 other types of coaching. And in fact, Tom will go into more detail with Greg. We found one-on-one does not work. You need to go 2-on-2 at minimum. This is what we call deep dive coaching in our company, because you're going really deep into a set of individuals. But Tom will talk about this more, but you need 2-on-2 for many different reasons, including the fact that all coaches are biased. We teach the way we learned. Yet not everyone learns the same way, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and fish and monkey and whatnot.
Some of us naturally start here to get here, and some of us started here and then ended up here in the learning. So you'll see the diversity even in our coaching.
So you will experience it. You're paired in twos, because if you both do your job, and this time, by the way, you are in the safety of Nextjump. If you do something here that ends up getting you demoted or fired from this academy, please reach out to us, because we will go, and I'm being dead serious. We will go reach out to the senior people we know personally in your company, and we will tell them it is the exact wrong thing to do, and we'll never work with you again if you do that. So I'm trying to give you some space to feel the ability to be yourself.
But really quickly, the other reason for the 2 that are being coached as a student, just so you know, it will make them feel less alone. When you get one-on-one coaching, sometimes because you're the only one, you feel I'm the only one who has this problem. When you realize other people actually face similar challenges, you hear their challenges, it makes you feel less alone, more normal, more likely to open up and start solving for it.
What you're going to practice all day today and observe as well is 2-on-4 coaching times 2, because it usually goes every other week. So it's actually, you're able to hit 8 people. So it's a ratio actually of 1-on-4, but it's really 2 people coaching 4. And we found this middle piece was the most scalable form of coaching that allowed you to build a coaching pyramid that could cover the whole company. So you can train everybody. So this is where scalability created that hybrid between that personalized coaching, but done with greater speed and efficiency. Then if you ever came, our Feedback Academy, we have 10X, that's 2 to all. 2 coaches or more to everybody, because you get the diversity of thinking being represented by 2 different coaches. So you're going to experience a tremendous amount of observing, trying it yourself on situational workshops, which is 2 and 4. So with that, I think we're going to set up, get off the conference line. So Boston will observe Boston, London will do London, New York will do New York. So this usually occurs in a conference room. So it's unusual, by the way, for the 4, we call them students, call them mentees or students to be sitting while you're all observing, right, as we're coaching as well. And that is very difficult, not only for the students, but also for the coaches. So the one thing we ask is absolute silence, no ahs or shucks, because anything you do will throw off someone's mindset. It's very, very difficult not to feel judged, because you will be judging, which, by the way, we also ask on the feedback app, don't put feedback when people do this. And you'll see when you practice yourself, you're not going to want other people watching, which they will be watching, but not everybody like we are here. And you don't want them putting feedback, because you know you will do it wrong. So with that, Transit Lounge, you're going to have a choice. Pick correctly.